Baseball is good. Jays won again tonight. They shook off yesterday's loss to the Pirates, the irate Pirates. And they came out and won again tonight, which got them back to 500 on the road, which I'm kind of hoping that that's what they got to maintain. That's no other team in the AL East is 500 on the road. So that could be the make or break moment. Obviously, now they're 5.5 up on the Yankees and Red Sox. I think Yankees play later. I think the Sox are off. So at least they'll have at least 5 games or more up going in tomorrow. We're down to 35 games left, I believe. So it's getting there. I said we're not quite into September yet, but the games are ticking away. You know, obviously there's tons and tons of tough matchups. It's going to be hair raising. It's going to be tough September. We know, obviously, they have matchups against the Red Sox. They have matchups against the Yankees. I think they have, they have Milwaukee coming up soon, and they've been on fire, even though they dropped the last couple, two of the last 3 to Cincinnati. So whoever you're rooting for in baseball, we've now reached a stretch run. Obviously, the Mets are not able to catch the Phillies right now. There's only a couple real battles for first place that are within 2 or 3 games right now. And one's the AL West, I believe, and obviously San Diego and the Dodgers. So the 2 Western divisions are much closer than the Eastern stuff. Detroit is blowing out Cleveland in the AL Central or whatever it's called, the AL North. God only knows. They could change the names. Is their corporate name now? I don't know. I don't know if MLB is taking cash money from TD Bank or whatever they're doing. So, but I said baseball's always obviously we're in August and September and this is heavy baseball season. But I'm always keeping an eye on the free agents we have left. Like I told you, the people signing over in the KHL. The familiar names, people that we've had in our boxes. So it's interesting to see whether it's somebody going home or a North American player, signing on for a season or 2, waiting to get a look, similar to what Tony DeAngelo did before he ended up back with the Islanders in the last couple of seasons. And it'd be interesting to see if he can produce. Obviously, he's got a good young forward, the number 1 overall pick, Schaefer with the Isles. I'm not sure how much he's going to play this year, but obviously Tony C is kind of holding down the fort, see if the Islanders can get back into the playoff potential. So let me see this. I got notifications. Stuff is slow. No, we're still running good. We're good. So let's roll. The Dodgers. Like I said, the Dodgers spend the money. Obviously, they defer a lot of it, so they're going to be spending these contracts for another 20 years or whatever it is. But that's the way they beat the system, the way it's set up in Major League Baseball. So there's no cap. These owners can spend however they want, and they can structure their deals however they want. And that's what you do. Like I said, I dealt as a Jays fan, for 20 years with Yankees and Red Sox spending insane money. Obviously, no cap world, and Steinbrenner, and then the Red Sox. And like I said, they have several championships between the 2 of them, and it's good to see the Jays get back to where they're a potential division-winning team. Obviously, they spent some good money over the last couple of years. They made some good trades. We'll see how they can make their run. But like I said, I don't watch the National League as closely because I'm paying attention. It's going to be a battle in the AL East. So, but we'll see. Like I said, hockey's getting close. Like I said, I've been watching replay games. I have stuff on my DVR I can tune on to just get my, whet my appetite for what's coming. I got the old classic games, cup clinching games from the Oilers in the mid-'80s. They broadcast them. But whenever I see them, I record one. I got to watch the Islanders or the Oilers being the beat the Isles for their first cup. That was cool. I'm a big fan of the '88 Oilers team when they beat the Bruins. They swept them there. That was Gretzky's last cup with the Oil, and that was unbelievable. So it's it's whatever you need to do to bide your time in the summertime. How it is. So it's our favorite sport. We're junkies. Whatever we can do to get ourselves ready for the season. But just one box tonight. So good luck, everybody. I can't wait to see what comes out. Whether it's a long-time target, whether it's a brand new monster. You guys are good to me. I'm happy to give back to you guys. So whatever comes out tonight, you guys are the best. So let's do it. We got one tonight, 23 boxes. One Thursday, 22 boxes. That'll get us down to 21 with the reload going in. So the spots are live on eBay. So if you guys want to, start sprinkling some bids, just the placeholder. But, I expect the battles to be coming more, in Saturday and Sunday, especially with the new stuff. We'll see what the big targets are. But, we got some good ones in there still. Let's see what we got tonight. Good luck to everybody. I completely, totally appreciate, love all you guys. We're a giant family here at WAFFLEBOARD Breaks. So let's get going. Let me get my my list up here. Let me get my dice roller, my randomizer. There we go. Okay, let's get going with this. Okay, that center wise. There we go. 5 or more, of course, on our dice roll. Boxes are here. 1 box run, two box runs. Then we got a 5-box run, and the last 13 are from the most recent reload, all the way up to 49. So there we go. Good luck, everybody. 1 box tonight. Good luck, everybody. Let's do it. 5 or more on our dice roll. See what we got. 7, the most common dice roll. 7 it is. Let's see who's lucky with number 7. 7 times to come up with our box. Good luck, everybody. 1, 23 boxes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the box we're going to open tonight, second to last box before the reload, is going to be box number 33. 33. I believe that's in the reload. 33 it is. 23 boxes, 7 times. 23 boxes, box 33. Yes, I believe the reload starts at 33. So there we go. Box 7 times, box 33. So if we got a reload spot, this is the time. Here we go. Okay. Woo! Woo! Here we go. Let's do it. Disgruntled White Sox fans. I think if you're White Sox have won. Did they win one? I think they won one. They have a championship in the last 20 years. I think they won one. I know the Cubs won one. I think the White Sox have one of theirs too. White Sox, I think back to the mid-'80s White Sox. And, obviously, I remember when they wore shorts, when they had the giant collars, going back to Fisk and Harold Baines and Ron Kittle, Karkovice, like I said, those White Sox. So they go back 25, 2005 they won. Like I said, I remember the White Sox winning, and I remember the Cubs winning theirs. The Cubs, I think Cleveland won theirs. I think Cleveland beat the Braves. But no, the Braves beat Cleveland. That was the only World Series that the Braves won. They finally got, of course, they beat Cleveland, the sappiest team. I think, but all those teams have actually gotten a win over that time since the Jays won 92 and then 93. So we have seen those teams. Obviously, Red Sox finally broke their curse. Obviously the Arizona's got theirs. So we've seen teams win. Obviously, in the Giants, obviously they had some years when they had some great teams. So it's obviously with the Cove. So it's good. Obviously I like when it's spread around a little bit. Obviously you're not going to have the monster. Chet Lemon. Ooh, Chet Lemon. Oscar Yan with the big fro with the Yankees, late 70s, but Chet Lemon. Yeah, Chet Lemon, I believe, wore the shorts. I think Harold Baines, I think, wore the shorts. Yeah, those are the short wearing years. So, Kittle, oh God, short wearing the big collars. That was the 80s. What were they thinking? Like, I don't know. They're just behind the times in Chicago. They figured, oh, yeah, let's do that. So that's what are you going to do? So that was it. Carlton Fisk wearing the shorts. So, yeah, it was a good time. Ralph Garr, like I said, it was definitely a time. So let me see. Box 33. Let me get my internal bookkeeping here. Box 33. There it is. Box 33. Okay. Good luck to everybody. Where's my list? Let's see. We got a pretty good crowd. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, almost everybody is present with the reload Box 33 it is. Let's get this in there. I kept the box in order. I got the oldest 5 on the left, and then, of course, I got the 18 here in the middle, the 5 and the 13. So here we are. So now down to 5 and 12. We have the oldest 5. So obviously after this, we'll have to short them around a little bit before we get the reload in. So here we go. Oh yeah. Chet Lemon was a neighbor. Very good. Chet Lemon. Those are legendary players. Box 33. Box 33 it is. Here's my list. It's going to be fun. Let's see what we got. Box 33. And I had absolutely zero clue what's in these boxes. No clue especially on our reload. 13. I think we have 16 went in. I don't think 17. I think it was 16. So down to 12. So good luck, everybody. Let's see. Oh, he said I passed. Yeah, very sorry to hear that Chet Lemon has left us. Yeah, some of the Jays start to pass. I'm happy. Buck Martinez battled some health issues. It's nice to hear him back in the booth. Obviously, long time Jays catcher. We wish him well. Obviously, when they start to drop off the Jays, from some of the older ones, obviously from the early years. But they've been lucky. They've a lot of them are still with us. So especially those when they really got good, like the early to mid '80s. Obviously, the Tigers were dominating '84. Then the Jays won at least '85, and then they had the '87. They were good, and then they had a couple down years, and then came back strong with the back-to-back series. So that era of Jays, we still have a lot of them with us, but obviously you're going to start losing them little by little. Very good. Let's do it. Here we go. Box 33. What are you going to show us? Oh, monster! Box 33 is Gordie Howe. There it is. We talk about a monster. Gordie Howe. This is a custom, but this is back when they made very nice customs. These customs are on par with the current Fanatics. Gordie Howe, like you said, this obviously is a framework COA on that. Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey. This is from several years before he even passed. His penmanship was actually somewhat decent, nicer than the one I have in my PC. Actually, it's black Sharpie on the white custom. There it is. Very, very nice. The monsters come out to play. Woo! Very, very nice. Like I said, this is back when they cared about customs. Actually has very similar to Fanatics. It's a solid piece with Detroit logo on the front, custom jersey, but it's an absolute beautiful Gordie Howe. Saw that, I had to grab it. There we go. Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey, one of the greatest of all time. We have 3 players with over 800 goals in the NHL. Gordie, now Gretzky, and the all-time goal scorer, Alex Ovechkin. So there we go. Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey, monster hit. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And that is Larry V. Larry V's been on fire. Boom time. He's hit some big, big jerseys. He had a Mac over at Big Al's in his East Coast box. And then boom, Gordie Howe here at WAFFLEBOARD Breaks. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous Gordie Howe. Like I said, it's as pretty as you're going to find for Gordie Howe. So it's like I said, it's his penmanship really, in the last couple of years, got really shoddy. But he was signing almost the day he passed, unfortunately. But it's very nice. Like I said, this is a custom, so obviously it's got it dated. Obviously you could see, this has been around. It's probably, he died almost 10 years ago. So this is, 15. Probably 20 years, almost 20 years he was signing, and that's nice customs. So it's a real nice job on. So there we go. Congratulations, Larry V. The monster comes out tonight. Congratulations. Sorry, of course, for everybody that did not hit. There we go. The odds were 1 in 23, and Gordie Howe comes out to play. There it is. No nameplate. Obviously, even like on the Red Wings customs, just the white letters stitched onto the red jersey. So that's that was the way they made them. Back in the when Cordy was still signing. Just absolutely beautiful. I mean, this kind of jersey, it's they're perfect for framing up. Obviously from time, and obviously it's almost kind of hasn't been washed, but obviously clearly from time just sitting it against it, it started to bleed a little bit. But the white 9 is beautiful. The black Sharpie Sig is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So there we go. Congratulations. Yeah, thanks all around. That's one you got to chase. You work hard for that one. You've taken it here. You grabbed it at eBay. Like I said, that's one that rewarding, when you finally hit, when you have a target like that. I know you have a couple of the big targets. So it's really nice to see that kind of out. Like I said, 1 in 22 chance, another monster coming on Thursday. Like I said, that's, I give back to you guys. I make these jerseys available, and the randomizer decides, who's going to hit. So there's no rhyme or reason. There's no lean, for or against. But like I said, I'm always happy when people are rewarded for sticking with their guns on the big ones. So congratulations. Yes, you're very welcome, Larry. I'm really happy to see that. Like I said, I hate to see it go, but I'm really happy to see it, especially when you guys have targets that you dedicate yourself to. And that's just an absolute beautiful jersey. So there we go. Like I said, it's if you frame it up, I know it'll look fantastic, even if you just keep it as part of your PC. Like I said, it's I almost never do customs. I've only had a couple over the 498 boxes, but I felt the Gordie Howe deserved it. It's just a beautiful jersey, and obviously, your licensed jerseys. I mean, you're paying 2 or 3 times sometimes what you're going to pay for that. So it's you don't see them, like, you just don't see them. So when you give a chance to see one and you feel comfortable with the ink, it was worth it for me to grab. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time and snag that. So pass it on to you guys. That's what I'm always willing to do. They said, yeah, put it next to McJesus. Like I said, Gordie Howe I still have ahead of McJesus, but like I said, they're two. Obviously, what McDavid has done. I don't know if he'll get to Gordie Howe's numbers, but 801 goals. I don't think McDavid will come close to that. He's more of a point guy. He's basically, I think he scored 30 goals this year, 24 goals, 33 year before. So he did have the 1 year where he had like 48, but he's not going to be that type of goal scorer. Gordie did everything. He said, we know, obviously the Gordie Howe hat trick was kind of like a misnomer. I think he only had like 1 or 2 in his entire career, but a fight, assist, a goal. And Gordie Howe's a legend, Mr. Hockey. He signed his name like that forever, especially towards the end. And it's just a beautiful thing. So congratulations. Thank you very much, everybody, for involving yourself. It's just proof positive. Those jerseys are in there just waiting to be hit. So we have 13 more from the last reload, or 12 more from the last reload. Some big names still in there to hit. But I said, we'll get ready for Thursday. 1 in 22 odds. Nothing prevents monsters from coming out Thursday. So get ready to hit your spots. Thank you very much, everybody. I will see you back here Thursday night. Enjoy. I will talk to you then. Waffleboard Breaks is out.